The initial list for the Imsa season opener in 2025 is released. The next edition of the ROLEX24 at Daytona will once again have a huge number of competitors confirmed on the iconic Florida track. 61 cars among the 4 classes will be at Daytona for the ROLEX24 race and will count with a high level of the drivers around the world. So let's check now all the teams confirmed for the ROLEX24 at Daytona in 2025. There will be 22 cars confirmed for the GTD class at Daytona. This class uses GT3 cars with a Pro AM lineup. So let's check now all the teams confirmed. Beginning first with the Aston Martin, which will be represented with 3 teams and 3 cars confirmed. The first one is the number 19 Van der Steur, which is a new entry in the WeatherTech Sports Car Championship and is coming from Michelin Pilot Challenge. At the moment, the drivers confirmed are Rory van der Steur, Valentin Haseklot and Maxime Robon. The second AMR team is the number 27 Heart of Racing. The confirmed drivers are Zach Robichon, Casper Stevenson, Tom Gamble and Mattia Drudi. And the third team is the number 44 Magnus Racing and will be the last race in Imsa before pausing the program. This will be the last race for Andy Lally in a racing career and will have for a while John Potter and Spencer Pumpelly as teammates. The second manufacturer in the GTD will be BMW, with only a single car competing. The only team to operate the new BMW M4 GT3 Evo in the GTD is the number 96 Turner Motorsport. The lineup will be the same from the 2024 edition, with Patrick Gallagher, Robbie Foley, Jake Walker and Jens Klingman. The third manufacturer confirmed is Chevrolet with its Corvette Z06 GT3R and will be represented by 2 different teams. Beginning with the number 13 AWA. The trio Ori Fidani, Matt Bell and Lars Kern were retained for the 2025 season, and for the Daytona round will have a new 4th driver, which will be Marvin Kirchhofer, who competed with FAF Motorsports in 2024. And the second team is a new entry which is coming from GT World Challenge America. The drivers will be Sali Yalik, Alec Udell, Charlie Eastwood and Pippo Dirani. The 4th manufacturer in the GTD is Ferrari and is the brand which will have the biggest number of the cars on the grid with 7. The first car is the number 21 AF Course. Simon Mann, Lilo Wadu, Alessandro Pierguidi and Kei Cozzolino are the drivers. The second AF Course car is the number 47 but named as Settler Racing and will have some changes. The only remaining drivers from the 2024 season are Roberto Lacordi and Antonio Fuoco, and Nicola Lacordi and Lorenzo Patrese are joining the team. AF Course will also have a 3rd car and will use the number 50. For a while only Custodio Toledo is confirmed. The second team confirmed is the Triarci Competizione with 2 cars. For a while on the 021 no drivers were confirmed at the moment. While in its sister car number 023, there will be no changes compared to 2024 with Charles Scardina, Onofrio Triarci, Alessio Rovera and Riccardo Agostini. The third Ferrari team in the GTD class is the number 34 Conquest Racing with some changes. Manny Franco and Cedric Spirituoli remained, while Daniel Serra and Giacomo Altoe, who competed for the team in 2024 in the GTD Pro effort, are joining the GTD team in 2025. And the last Ferrari team in the GTD is the number 70 Inception Racing. The 2024 remaining drivers Brendan Iribe, Fred Schandorf and Ali Milroy were confirmed. A 4th driver will be announced later. The 5th brand confirmed is Ford and will have only a single car. Gradient will be representing Ford in the GTD in 2025 after competing with Acura in 2024. For a while only Multimatic driver Joey Hand is confirmed. The 6th manufacturer in the GTD class is Lamborghini with 2 teams. The first one is the Wayne Taylor Racing number 45. The drivers are Trent Heenman, Danny Formal, Graham Doyle and Kyle Marcelli. And the second team is the number 78 Forte Racing, with Misha Goikberg being the only 2024 remaining driver. Mario Farnbacher is joining for a full season, and NASCAR driver Parker Kligerman will also compete for Forte Racing at Daytona. A 4th driver will be announced later. Now the Lexus, in which once again will be represented exclusively by Vassar Sullivan. For a while, no drivers were announced yet on the car number 12. And here comes the penultimate brand in the GTD list, which is Mercedes-AMG. 3 teams will be representing the German brand. The first team is the number 32 Korthoff Competition Motors. The drivers are Seth Lucas, Kenton Koch, Maximilian Getz and Daniel Morad. The second team is the number 57 Windward Racing. Russell Ward, Philip Ellis and Indy Donch will compete again for the team at Daytona, but the 4th driver will be Lucas Auer. And the third team is Lone Star Racing number 80. Only Dan Knox is the driver confirmed. And finally the Porsche, which is the last manufacturer in the GTD list and will have 2 teams competing. The first one is Iron Dames number 83 in a partnership with Proton Competition. The trio Michelle Gatting, Sarah Bovey and Rahel Fry will have a new teammate who is Karen Gallard. And the second team is the number 120 Wright Motorsports. The duo Adam Adelson and Elliot Skier were retained and they will have 2 new teammates which are Tom Sargent and Ajin Guven. There will be 13 cars confirmed for the GTD Pro class at Daytona. This class also uses GT3 car, but unlike GTD, there are no restrictions about the driver's lineup and it's also destined for professional drivers. So let's check now all the teams confirmed. Let's start first with the Aston Martin. The British brand will be represented only by Heart of Racing team using the number 007 and will be an exclusive entry for Daytona, considering the team will be competing at the GTP class with the Valkyrie LMH car from Sebring and beyond. The team will have a huge lineup with Alex Riberas, Marco Sorensen, Ross Gunn and Roman De Angelis. The second manufacturer confirmed is BMW, which will be operated by Paul Miller Racing with 2 cars. In both cars number 1 and the number 48, no drivers were announced yet. The third manufacturer confirmed is Chevy Corvette and will have 3 cars competing with 2 by Pratt Miller and a single one by Trackhouse by TF Sport. Beginning with the Corvette Racing by Pratt Miller Motorsports, which is the factory team. The number 3 will have the same lineup from the 2024 season with Antonio Garcia, Alex Sims, and Danny Juncadella. While in its sister car number 4, Nicky Katzberg and Tommy Milner were retained, but the third driver will be different with Nico Vahoni. And the third car confirmed is the number 91 Trackhouse by TF Sport and will have a huge lineup. The drivers are SVG, Connor Zilish, Scott McLaughlin, and Ben Keating. The fourth manufacturer is Ferrari and will have only a single team operating the 296 GT3 car. The only Ferrari team in the GTD Pro is Dragon Speed number 81 and will have a partnership with Risi Competizione. Albert Costa, Davide Rigan, Miguel Molina and Thomas Neubauer are the confirmed drivers. The fifth manufacturer is Ford with 2 cars competing in the GTD Pro operated again by Ford Multimatic Motorsports. In the car number 64, Mike Rockenfeller is the only remaining driver and will have Seb Priol as new full-season teammate and Ben Barker joining as a third driver for endurance races. And in its sister car number 65, a totally new driver lineup with Chris Mees and Fred Vervish as the full-season drivers and Dennis Olsen joining as an endurance driver. Now the Lambo. In the GTD Pro, it will be operated exclusively by FAF Motorsports, which will be switching brand again. The car number 9 will have Andrea Caldarelli, Jordan Pepper, Marco Mappelli and James Hinchcliffe as the drivers. The next brand is Lexus. And like in the GTD, will be exclusively operated again by Vassar Sullivan with a single car. For a while, no drivers were announced yet in the car number 14. The penultimate manufacturer confirmed in the GTD Pro is Mercedes and there will be 2 different teams operating. The first one is the number 69 GetSpeed. Anthony Bartoni, Fabian Schiller, Luca Stoltz and the AMG newcomer Maxime Martin will be the drivers. And the second AMG car in the GTD Pro is the number 75 Sun Energy one but named as 75 Express. For a while only Kenny Habul, Michael Grenier and Mauro Engel were confirmed. And now finally the last manufacturer in the GTD Pro, which is Porsche, and will be represented by 2 teams. The first one is the number 20 Proton Competition with a partnership with Iron Lynx. Claudio Schiavone, Matteo Cressoni and the Porsche factory drivers Richard Leitz and Thomas Pryaning are confirmed in this car. And in the number 77 AO Racing Rexy, which is the current GTD Pro champions, Klaus Bachler, Lauren Heinrich and Alessio Picariello are the drivers. There will be 12 cars confirmed for the LMP2 class at Daytona. This is a secondary prototype class in Imsa and all the teams will be using the Oreca 07 powered with Gibson V8 engine. The driver lineup must be Pro AM with a bronze driver being mandatory. Let's check the teams now. Beginning with United Autosports, which will be the only team to have 2 cars in the class. The car number 2 will have Ben Hanley remaining from the last season. And in its sister car number 22, Dan Goldberg and Paul Di Resta remain on the team. The second confirmed team is the CrowdStrike Racing by APR number 04, which is returning to the IMSA LMP2 grid after not competing from Road America and beyond in 2024 due to a global issue involving CrowdStrike. George Kurtz, Toby Sowery and Malth Jacobsen will return on the 04 at Daytona in 2025, and Andretti IndyCar driver Colton Herta is joining the team. The third team confirmed is the number 8 Tower Motorsports and will have a different lineup compared to 2024. The only driver retained is John Ferrano, who is the bronze driver. The other drivers confirmed are Sebastian Bourdais, Sebastian Alvarez and Job van Uitert. The fourth team confirmed is the number 11 TDS Racing, and its driver lineup is the same from the 2024 edition with Stephen Thomas, Mikkel Jensen, Hunter McElrea, and Charles Milesi. The fifth team is the number 18 Era Motorsport, which will be defending the Rolex 24 win. The lineup will be very different, with Ryan Dalziel being the only remaining driver. The other three are Tobias Lutke, David Heinemeier Hansen and Paul-Louis Chatin. The sixth team is the number 43 Inter-Europol competition, and unlike it was in 2024, they will compete separately from PR1 Mathiasen in 2025. John Field, Bijoy Garg, Tom Dillman and Antonio Felix da Costa will be the drivers. And the next team is the number 52 PR1 Mathiasen Motorsports, which will be competing separately from the Inter-Europol in 2025. Ben Keating is returning to the team and is also competing in the LMP2 class besides the GTD Pro. The other drivers are Rodrigo Salas, Benjamin Peterson and Matthias Besch. The eighth team is the number 73 Pratt Miller Motorsports, which is a new entry in the LMP2 class but not in Imsa because they compete with Corvette there for a long time. The drivers are Chris Cumming, Pietro Fittipaldi, James Rowe and Callum Ilott. The ninth team is the number 74 Riley. The lineup will be the same from the 2024 edition at Daytona, and the drivers are Gar Robinson, Felipe Fraga, Josh Burton and Felipe Massa. The 10th team is the number 88 Pecom Racing, which will be operated by AF Course. Luis Perez Kumpank, Matthew Vaxavier and Nicholas Nielsen remain, and a fourth driver will be announced later. And finally, the last team is the number 99 AO Racing Spike. PJ Hyatt is the only remaining driver from 2024. The 2024 GTP champion Dane Cameron, 2024 ELMS LMP2 champion Johnny Edgar and Christian Rasmussen are joining the AO Racing. And finally the GTP, which is the top class. 12 cars were confirmed for the IMSA season opener at Daytona and 5 manufacturers will be involved. So let's know now all the teams. Beginning with Acura, which will be operated again by Meyer Shank Racing and is returning to IMSA after not competing in 2024. 2 cars will be running at Daytona. Beginning with the 60 crew. The drivers are Colin Braun, Tom Blomqvist, Scott Dixon and Felix Rosenqvist. And in its sister car number 93, we will have the newcomers Ringer van der Zonde and Nick Yellowly, alongside 3 times IndyCar champion Alex Palou and Super GT driver Kaku Oda. The second manufacturer confirmed is BMW and will still be operated by Team RLL, but with several changes in their drivers' lineup. In the car number 24, Philip Eng is the only full-season remaining driver in the team. Dries Vanthoor is also back after competing with the car at Daytona in 2024 and now becomes a full-season driver. Former Haas Formula 1 team Kevin Magnussen is also joining the 24 crew, and the fourth driver is Rafael Martiello, meaning that the BMW WRT Hypercar Car 15 crew will be on 24 at Daytona. And in its sister car number 25, Marco Wittmann and Sheldon van der Linde return to BMW RLL after competing in endurance rounds in 2023, and now they become full-season effort, and this car will also count with van der Linde's teammates in WEC Hypercar Robin Fryens and René Haast. The third brand confirmed is Cadillac, and this time will have 3 cars now because Wayne Taylor Racing will be operating the GM LMDH cars alongside Action Express. Beginning with the car number 10 Wayne Taylor Racing. The duo Felipe Albuquerque and Ricky Taylor remained for one more year as the full-season drivers, and they will have the company of Will Stevens and again Brendan Hartley. And in the sister car number 40, Jordan Taylor and Louis Delatraz also remained and will have the company of Alex Lynn and Kamui Kobayashi. And the second Cadillac team is the Action Express Racing, but named as Cadillac Whelan car number 31 with a different lineup. Jack Aitken is the only remaining driver from the 2024 season and will have Earl Bamber as his new full-season teammate, and they will have the company of Frederick Vesti and Felipe Drugovich. The fourth manufacturer is Lamborghini with a single car and for a while named as Lamborghini Iron Lynx. The drivers confirmed are Mirko Bortolotti, Romain Grosjean, Daniil Kvyat and Eduardo Mortera. And finally the Porsche, which is the current overall manufacturer winner at Daytona and also the GTP champions. There will be 4 cars and 3 different teams at Daytona. Beginning with the Porsche Penske, the factory team. In the car number 6, we will have a huge lineup with the duo Camjam, which is Matt Campbell and Matthew Jaminet, and the third driver will be the hypercar champion Kevin Estre. And in its sister car number 7, Nick Tandy will be the new car teammate of Felipe Nasr in full season, and they will have the reinforcement from the hypercar champion Laurens Vanthoor. In car number 5 Proton competition, which is the customer team, for a while only Gimme Bruni and Neil Yanni were confirmed. And in the car number 85 JDC-Miller, also a customer car, Tijmen van der Helm is the only remaining driver from the 2024 season. Bryce Aaron is joining the team, and we will have also the current Formula E champion Pascal Werhlein joining as a newcomer. So guys, these are all the cars and teams which will be competing at the ROLEX24 at Daytona, which will be the Imsa season opener in 2025. In next weeks we can have another version of this video with the updated lineups, because there are some teams which need to announce their complete lineup. And if you want to watch more videos about Imsa and WEC, consider subscribing to the channel to not lose them. We see you in the next videos.